Hey guys, Steven's Home Cooking. How are you? So, someone had suggested that I discuss a little bit more about what got me into cooking. So, it's because of a person that I was married to before that has now passed away. She had a blood disease, and the doctors tried what they could, and unfortunately, it didn't work. So, with that said, um, so I grew up in a very good home. Um, my mom showed me a lot of stuff. As I got older, she told me if I was home and she was cooking, I could eat. But if I came home at 10:30 at night and wanted to eat, well, I better figure out how to do it on my own because she wasn't going to cook. I was old enough that I could cook for myself. Um, have I made mistakes cooking? Oh yeah. I had when I kind of was about it was about 12 or 13. I told my folks I was going to make pancakes. So I'm following the recipe, and part of the recipe says a quarter teaspoon of olive oil. Excuse me. I put in a quarter of a cup. So as I'm mixing it, I'm going, why is this not coming together? And why does it look so oily? So my mom came in because I was still living at home at the time. She said, well, what did you do? So I went through and I hit the quarter cup of olive oil. And she went, oh, that's why you don't use a quarter of a cup of olive oil. So we took the entire thing of batter and poured it in the trash can. And I started over. Second time, I was able to get it right, and we all enjoyed wonderful pancakes. So didn't do much more cooking after that. Did a little bit as I got older. But when I was working, I did things. I would be dates, so I'd go out to eat. Which back then going out to eat wasn't that expensive. Or I would do simple things. Excuse me. But then fast forward to my 22nd birthday, and I got married. And my wife at the time, she cooked most everything. And occasionally I would jump in and cook. Well, about 2 years into being married, she got really sick. So there was a lot of nights where she couldn't cook. So I would. But at the time, I was doing simple things. I was doing chili, macaroni, grilled cheese sandwiches, eggs and bacon and potatoes. Nothing real complicated. Because she enjoyed cooking and she was a really good cook. And then about 10, 12 years into getting married, of the marriage, she got really sick and couldn't, there were a lot of nights that she couldn't even function. So I'd do my best or I'd order out. Again, like I said, back at this time, the cost of things was not outrageous. There was a little place where we lived that they had a half-pound hamburger, big order of fries, and a 16-ounce drink for $3. It was a block and a half from the house. So I'd go there. If she couldn't eat or didn't want to eat, a lot of times I would go there. Well, then unfortunately, in April of 96, she passed away. And now I was completely by myself. So ended up either I was going to eat out all the time. I went from having two incomes to down to one, but the bills didn't change. And then, so I was having to learn to do things. Now, still called my mom. Hey, Mom, I want to do this. What do I do? She'd send me recipes. Again, or I would, occasionally eat out. Fridays were kind of a treat to myself. But I'd make things like chicken salad, chili, salads, veggies. And I don't remember everything I made, but I made simple stuff and nothing real elaborate. I always made enough that I kept my freezer full, so that way, if I didn't feel like cooking, I just pull something out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator before I left for work. And by the time I got home, it'd be thawed. I was living in a mobile home park, and so there was still plenty of people around, but not a lot. But the other thing too was a lot of times it would get really warm, and I'd walk in the house and it's 80 degrees outside and 8,000 degrees inside the house. So I'd go to the movies, get a snack there, or just find someplace else to go. So a lot of times I would just grab a little snack or something when I was out because I wasn't hungry. And, go home later in the evening when it cooled off. But cooking doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to be, a fancy 5-star chef to cook for yourself. Again, simple things. Chili is super easy. Take meat, throw it in a crock pot once it's cooked. Throw a bit, depending on how much meat you have, how big of a crock pot you have, a couple cans of beans, couple cans of tomatoes, stir it up, leave it on low, go to work. When you come home, you have chili. You can take and add to the chili. You can add. I did a lot where, especially around the January 1st, I'd buy champagne to celebrate, even though I was by myself, and I saved some of the champagne, put that in there with the meat, and if you wanted to put onions in there, and let that cook and come home to exceptional chili. Grate up some Parmesan cheese, or not Parmesan, but some cheddar cheese, a little bit of sour cream, maybe some salsa or some hot sauce, and enjoy your dinner. So, things, like I said, things don't have to be complicated. Scrambling a couple of eggs for an egg salad sandwich, or hard boiling a couple of eggs for egg salad sandwich. I've had things where I've done stuff that's simple, just wasn't real hungry for dinner. I made oatmeal for dinner. It's 2 cups of water and a cup of oats. Let them put it on low, let it cook for about 10, 12 minutes until the oats absorb the water. Put it in a bowl, put butter, brown sugar, chocolate chips, jelly, cream, whatever your fancy is, do a little experimenting. Sometimes the best things are discovered by just experimenting. So let's say you put heavy cream on it, half and half, milk, and then maybe add a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg, or maybe do a little bit of brown sugar. Don't do regular sugar because that just it coagulates and gets all clumpy. But you can do brown sugar, and that always will work too. But experiment, have fun. Cooking is something that you enjoy and something you do, to feed a need. Everybody has to eat, so you have to kind of do what is needed. But again, have fun with it. If you have questions, go ahead and reach out to us. Let us know. We'll do our best to get back to you. I try to read every question that's on the site, and I answer 90% of them because a lot of times it's a simple answer. And so if you need something, let us know. By the way, We will have a link shortly on the site for Dahlstrom knives that we have a affiliate link. So if you click on the link and buy some knives, the page gets a little bit of money. So that would be appreciated. Also, we have a Patreon page for one of our other channels. If you'd like to participate by that. But that's about it. It's getting late. I've got to go pick up my daughter. So thank you for the subscribers we have. Like I said, if you aren't a subscriber and you're listening to this, I would appreciate the subscription. If not, thank you for listening. Have a good night. Bye.